I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love.
What's going on, everybody? It's your big homie, the Armchair Operator. Happy New Year to you and welcome to 2024. We made it, and I hope that you all are excited and ready to hit this new year, get it off to a good start and hit the ground running hard. So many blessings and prosperity to all of you in this wonderful new year. Now, today we are going to take a look at the Beretta 1301 Tactical. I actually had this shotgun probably almost a year and a half now, and I never got a chance to feature it on the channel. So today I'm going to do exactly that. But before I get started with any of that, first I have to say thank you to every single last one of y'all for helping to bring this channel over 1,000 subscribers. I had a goal to hit 1,000 subscribers by January 1st, and I gotta say, y'all showed out for your boy. I don't know what you did, I don't know what kind of voodoo magic you worked, but whatever you all did, listen, I humbly thank every single one of y'all. So good looking out. Like I said, I got some more great things coming to the channel for 2024, and I'm going to share that with all of y'all. So again, thank you so much for that. Now on to introducing the Beretta 1301 Tactical. All right, here we go. This is the Beretta 1301 Tactical. First thing we got to do a clear check, right? So as you can see, that chamber is empty. It is empty. The firearm is clear, and we are in a safe and controlled environment. But first things first, I got the AC running, so I definitely apologize. It's a little warm in my place tonight, and I don't want to be sitting here on camera sweating like, you know what I mean, like melting like a chocolate ice cream cone. So I definitely apologize for the air conditioning sound running in the background. All right, so enough about that. We're going to talk about this beautiful work of art right here. So first of all, what is the Beretta 1301 Tactical? Well, the Beretta 1301 Tactical is essentially the tactical version of the Beretta 1301. And essentially, the Beretta 1301 is a semi-automatic gas-operated shotgun chambered in 12 gauge. This particular model is capable of accepting both 2 3/4 inch and 3-inch shells. The tactical model, which you see here, actually, let me back up for a second. There are two flavors for the tactical model. You have the tactical model that has the standard buttstock on the end, and you have this particular model which has a pistol grip and a fixed stock on the end. Now, originally, when the 1301s were imported into the US, they came with the 5-shot magazine tubes and the traditional buttstock. I think maybe, I'm not exactly sure, but they've been importing them for a while. But now you can actually buy a Beretta 1301 with the 7-round tube and the fixed buttstock on the end, this is what this particular version is. This is actually, I think, what they call like the LE or law enforcement model. So this particular shotgun has a 7-to-1 capacity. You have 7 shells in the tube, and you have 1 in the chamber. Now this is assuming we're using 2 3/4 inch shells. Now a lot of times when people are talking about shotgun capacities, especially 12 gauge, 9 times out of 10 they're talking about like the 2 3/4 inch shells. But just keep in mind, like if you're using 3-inch Magnum shells, which this shotgun can accommodate, take off about, maybe I would say about 2 rounds out of your total versus the 2 3/4 inch shells. Just something to think about. But anyway, let's take a look at this particular shotgun. We're going to start where I usually like to start with any firearm, is really with the sights. So this particular shotgun has the ghost ring sights. So you got the blade sight up front. I don't know if you can see that, but you got the little blade sight right here in between these two protective covers. This is all metal, by the way. And you have the aperture rear peep sight right there. And this is also here to protect the sight. Now this particular piece right here is polymer, and I believe the rear sight is polymer too, but up here this part is metal. So we have that. We also have your Picatinny rail up top here for your lights and lasers. And I mean, I don't know why anybody would put a light up there, but you know me, your red dots, you have that up here for this. And we have an 18.5-inch chrome line cold hammer forged barrel. And the forcing cone on this particular shotgun is a little bit different. I don't know if you can tell, like the forcing cone basically starts like right up here as it branches off from the actual receiver into the breech of the barrel. And basically what this forcing cone does, it just gives this particular shotgun a more consistent grouping downrange. So which is really cool. Something you definitely want, especially with a tactical style 12-gauge shotgun. We also have a polymer fore-end here. It has some texturing on the bottom here. And this particular model has a barrel clamp, and we have our two M-lock slots here. And this is actually an M-lock slot over here too, but I have a, let me do it this way. But I actually have a Picatinny rail installed here because I'm running a Surefire Scout weapon light on here, the mini weapon light. This is the I think it's 500 lumen output. So I kind of have this set up as one of my primary home defense shotgun, hence the weapon light that's here. And the good thing about this weapon light is, like, if I can loosen up a screw and just rotate this up so I can change the position of this light even while it's mounted onto the shotgun. So that's cool. I have that there. Also, let's go back here to this side. So we have our charging handle here, which basically reciprocates the bolt, you know, when you're ready to get that first round into the chamber. And this is our bolt release. And this has this is the safety. It's kind of like a crossbolt style safety, similar to that which you might see on a 870 or something like that. The difference here is it's actually in front of the trigger, as opposed, I believe the 870s are behind the trigger. So, I mean, you know, it's cool. And then we have, so this particular buttstock is made by Mesa Tactical. So in case you're not aware, Mesa Tactical makes a lot of aftermarket parts for not only the Beretta 1301, but also I believe the Benelli M4 as well. What I like about this particular stock is that the length of pull is not too long. So sometimes when you have a standard buttstock, for some people, the length of pull can be a bit long. So with this, it actually has a shorter length of pull. And plus, when you have that pistol grip, it's more of a natural feel in the hand versus, say, a standard buttstock for most people. And plus, this particular grip here is rubberized and it's wide. So, like, you can really get in there. And with the angle of it, it just kind of helps to really get a good, solid grasp of the firearm, which I really like. We have a nice recoil pad here, and this actually is a cheek riser. So you can adjust this here to increase the height. All you would do is just loosen these Allen screws here on both sides, and then this will raise up a little bit, and then you would just tighten it down. So you can adjust your cheek riser right here too. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but we have a loop for a sling on both sides. So you can run a sling on this easily. And plus, with the QD spot up here, you can just QD that sling right on this side and loop it on this side to however you want to do it. And plus, you got a little swivel port right here that you can utilize as well. So this is actually a very versatile shotgun. Now, let's talk about the operation of the shotgun. So this particular shotgun uses what Beretta calls their blink operating system. And essentially, the blink operating system is kind of like a self-cleaning operating system, where this particular shotgun, well, for one thing, it runs 36% faster than most other semi-automatic shotguns in its class, according to Beretta. And just based on what I have seen versus some other semi-autos out in the field, this gun does run pretty quickly. How quickly? Well, that's debatable. That might be something that we're going to have to test for myself on the channel at some point down the road. But suffice it to say, for a semi-automatic 12 gauge, this thing runs fast. and it runs actually pretty well. And I'll talk about that more so when I get to the range portion of the video. Let's see, we already talked about the barrel. Another thing that I like is this large charging handle. So I don't know if anybody's familiar with the old school Beretta M4s or the Turkish clones. So these controls on the Benelli are noticeably smaller than that of the 1301. And what I like about it is, like, it's really easy to really get on that to rack the action. And then plus, like right here with the bolt release, you know, like if you're doing a nice little port load, you come up underneath, get that shell in, you can really hit this. Well, I'll just show you real quick. So let's run that back. So we're open, right? Port loaded, boom, come up in there. Real easy. Drop the bolt, send it home, and you're ready to rock and roll. So that's why I really like that too. Now, another thing about this is actually a release. So to safely unload this shotgun, you can use this. It actually has two functions. You would pull back on it and it would eject the shell out of the carrier. Now, I don't have any live shells in the review space for obvious reasons, but so I'll try to explain it the best way I can. So usually what I'll do is, here's your elevator right here. I will push that in while there's a shell in. So here's the magazine tube. That's the follower right there for the magazine. I will push this in, pull back on the bolt release, and guide the shell right out of the tube. And that's a good, safe way of unloading this particular shotgun. So I just wanted to explain that. Now also, we're talking about the controls. There's another button right here. So if there's a shell inside of the magazine tube, if I push that button back, you hear that sound? The bolt release dropped up. Essentially, it will send a shell out of the magazine tube onto the elevator. And then I would just rack it and put it in business. So typically what I'll do is, when I have this particular shotgun staged in my home defense shotgun, like a lot of times I'll do that. I'll have the magazine charged and ready to go. And when it's time, if something were to happen and I need to get this shotgun in the fight quickly, I just hit the button, charge it, and I'm ready to go. So I just wanted to explain that particular feature of the Beretta 1301 to you. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it as far as the basic overview. So why don't we talk about the range experience that I've had with this shotgun so far? So on the range, like I said, this gun runs very well. So real quick, when I was talking about the Blink operating system before, one of the other hallmark features of the Blink operating system is that it's self-cleaning, which means that you could pretty much run this shotgun a lot longer than some of your other shotguns without having to clean it. And now, I'm the type of person that likes to clean his firearms anyway after every range session for the most part, but honestly, I have not stripped this particular shotgun to clean it in quite some time. And so far, I mean, I really haven't been keeping track of my shell counts, but since I've had it, I would say I've put close to, if not more than 500 shells through this particular shotgun so far. And as far as how it shoots on the range, let's just say it like this. This is an 8-in-1 shotgun, excuse me, a 7+1 shotgun, right? It takes virtually no time to empty this damn shotgun because of the Blink operating system. It just runs so quickly. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, you sneeze and it's already over. But it's really fun. Now, this particular shotgun is not very heavy. I think it's only like maybe, I haven't weighed it, but I think it's like 7 pounds or something like that. It's not very heavy at all, if that. That being said, compared to some of your other shotguns, like say your Benelli M4s and their clones, you're going to feel the recoil a bit more with this particular shotgun versus that shotgun. But the good thing about the Beretta 1301, especially when it comes to this rubber butt pad and the actual action of the gun, because it's semi-automatic, it absorbs a lot of that recoil. Now, when I was on the range this most recent time, I ran, I believe it was 11/0 buckshot, 11-12 gauge buckshot, the Fiocchi 11-12 shot. You get the idea. And I also ran some Winchester Super X 1600 feet per second slugs. So if you were to really look at the footage, you could kind of tell when I was running the buckshot versus the slugs, because the buckshot was a lot softer than those slugs. Those slugs, I'm gonna tell you right now, 1600 feet per second Super X 2 3/4 inch shells kicks like a mule. Personally, I love it. It was fun, but I'm just gonna let you know it kicks like a mule. Now, the thing about semi-automatic shotguns is they're very sensitive to the type of loads that you can put through them. The reason for that is those guns use the actual gases that are expelled when you fire off the cartridge to cycle the action, unlike a pump action, whereas the operator itself is cycling the action. Now, I say all that to say some semi-automatic shotguns don't really like lower powered rounds. They don't really work with them. Or in order to get them to work, like, you have to modify the actual gas system itself to run what we would basically call like low brass, right? So you would have to, like, for example, I had a VR60 one time, and it basically came with two different gas pistons. It had a gas piston for low brass, and it had a gas piston for high brass. And the general rule of thumb was, okay, if you're running low brass, you use a low brass gas piston, or if you're running high brass, you use the higher brass gas piston. And that has a lot to do with the way the gas rings are in the piston, and the point of it is to make sure to regulate the gases so that the shotgun will function properly. Now, fast forward to the 1301 here, I have put lower powered, light recoil Remington law enforcement buckshots and also rifle slugs through this particular gun. I have shot low brass through this gun. I have shot high brass through this gun. This particular shotgun ate all of it with no problem. Now, the only times that I really had an issue with this particular shotgun since I was using it was with the Fiocchi loads. Now, sometimes when it comes to 12 gauge shells or any real shotgun shells in general, they're made out of plastic. So there could be times where the ends of the shell itself may be crimped slightly differently. And the issue that I was having with some of my Fiocchi loads is that when it came time to feed the rounds into the chamber, they would kind of jam up the action a little bit. And I know that it wasn't this particular shotgun, because when I ran some of those same shells in my other pump actions, I have a Mossberg 590A1 and a Mossberg 500. I ran into some of those same issues, and I don't ever run into issues with those guns. So that basically told me right then and there that it was the shells and not the gun. So, as a matter of fact, recently I had a bit of an issue with one of the Fiocchi shells. So, you know, I just got it out of there and kept it rolling. But the point of the matter is, this shotgun has been very, very reliable for me with minimal cleaning. And that's in large part due to the quality of the manufacture of the Beretta 1301 and its blink operating gas system. So, as a matter of fact, I mean, like, check it out. Look inside of this particular gun. Now, mind you, I've put a few hundred shells through this gun so far, and that's just what it looks like. It's not very dirty at all. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Like, I haven't cleaned this shotgun probably in over a year. So that's saying a lot. But anyway, all in all, on the range, this gun is fun to shoot. It doesn't beat you up too bad. Like, a lot of times people think, oh my God, it's a 12 gauge shotgun. Like, it's really not that bad. But also, you have the option of running lower recoil, like law enforcement self-defense loads through the shotgun, and it'll run it just fine. So you have that option available to you should you want to get into this. Now, let's talk about MSRP. So, the Beretta 1301 Tactical is not a cheap shotgun. On Beretta's website, I believe the MSRP for this particular shotgun is a little north of $1,700. So that's not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. However, you can find these on the used secondary market for significantly less. And depending on your area where you are, even brand new, you probably will find this brand new like maybe about $1,500 somewhere, $1,600 depending on where you are. Now, me personally, I got this shotgun significantly less because I bought it used. Oh, by the way, once again, shout out to the Bunker Gun Shop for the amazing deal on this shotgun. I keep trying to put y'all on the Bunker, man. And I'm gonna tell you why. So I picked this shotgun up used for about a stack, one rack. That's it. That's not bad at all considering how good of a shotgun this has been for me over the last year and a half. So personally, I really like this shotgun. If you want to get into a semi-automatic shotgun, that's by a name brand, that's a good quality, you know, that you could depend on, I would 10 out of 10 recommend this particular shotgun. Now, not too long ago, Beretta came out with the A300 Ultimate Patrol, which I would consider like, it's basically like the cousin to the 1301. Now, they made some design changes with as far as the A300 Ultimate Patrol to basically bring the cost down. I believe one of the things about that particular gun is where they changed the actual, like how the recoil, how the action actually works. Whereas in this particular one, the recoil springs are all up here underneath the handguard, whereas the A300 Ultimate Patrol, it runs into the back of the stock itself. Consequently, you can't put this particular stock on an A300 Ultimate Patrol simply because of how it's engineered. So that's unfortunate, but there are some noticeable differences between the two platforms. And one advantage that the A300 Ultimate Patrol has is that its handguard comes with M-lock slots. And also right here, this particular area is beveled to assist with the loading of the magazine tube. So that particular gun usually runs around like 900 to about 1,000-ish, depending on where you find it. And again, you could probably find a good deal if you find that particular gun used in your area. So all in all, whether you're talking Beretta 1301 Tactical or maybe the Beretta A300 Ultimate Patrol, you have a solid shotgun that you could basically use to defend your home, your family, go out on patrol, work with, whatever you want to do with it. So like I said, I 10 out of 10 would recommend. But anyway, family, we have come to the end of another one. So as always, I want to thank each and every last one of you. Thank you all so much for taking the time to spend this time with me, to watch this review, to like, comment, and subscribe on the video, or subscribe to the channel, all that great stuff. It really does mean a lot to me that you all are spending this time with me to hear me talk crap about firearms, because I'm basically just a dude talking crap about firearms on the internet, and I love it. So, but anyway, y'all, thank you so much for watching. This is your big homie, and I am signing off. Peace.